Okay, you can officially call me old, because I'm going to make a video about how everything was better and greener in the old days. Like this 1952 Zetor 25 with a 2-cylinder, 4-stroke, water-cooled diesel engine making 26 horsepower at 1800 RPM. But wait a minute, before you start yapping, but this game had Doom and Elder Scrolls and this indie game and that game has a great soundtrack. You don't play much, do you?
You're weird! Okay.
Be cool, bitch, okay? First, hear the premise of this old-fashioned rant. You know, I want to compare the music in a couple of games that I used to play with my friends when we were like 8, 9 or 10 years old. And the music in the games my little nephew, or rather nephews, and their friends play nowadays. So I think I'm capturing the zeitgeist pretty well, but it's still a subjective point of view. You know, shower thoughts, a limited probing. So if you are looking for an insightful piece of knowledge, get the fuck out, okay?
You are made of stupid.
I was basically forced to create this video after watching one scene from a video called Why Was OG Fortnite So Perfect? By the channel called Tricky. Here is the scene.
Another thing as well is that the game was so silent. Anyone that played OG Fortnite remembers how silent the game was.
So silence. Silence. Interesting. Is silence what young gamers crave? Is silence one of their core memories when they think of the game? And so I begin to observe my nephew's gaming life like a true obsessive person. And while reminiscing about my early gaming years, I began to realize that something weird is really going on with game music. And maybe something strange was going on with the gamers themselves. Because when I think back to a few gaming titles I used to play religiously, one of the most important elements, besides the gameplay of course, was the music, the soundtrack, the specific song that still haunts me after 20 years. We used to hum those melodies with friends at school, and I learned to play them on guitar when I was just starting out. And later we would play bits and pieces of them as a joke during band practice. But everyone immediately recognized the game they were from, even if it had been 10 years since we last played them. You have to understand, back in 2001, as a 9-year-old, I was shooting junkies and gangsters in a stinky and moldy apartments and icy streets of blizzard-ridden New York as Max Payne.
I don't know about angels, but it's fear that gives men wings.
While in 2024, my 9-year-old nephew and millions like him are trading pets. Are you starting to see the difference? But to get to the point, now let me randomly pick 3 games from my childhood. Each one completely different genres, different atmospheres, but they are connected by one thing. Great music. Okay, let's start with the first one. I won't tell you which game it's from. Try to guess. Do you recognize it? It sounded a bit different from the original, it's true, but of course, that's the legendary track from the even more legendary Battlefield 1942. Man, I can still picture one of the desert missions, I'm pretty sure it was El Alamein. I would be waiting for the map to load while this epic track played. You couldn't help but feel like a hero. It boosted you up, you were ready to die for your homeland, for honor and glory. I was ready to crush the Axis powers or, on the flip side, to mow down enemies from above in the Japanese Zero Fighter. You would do anything for your brothers in arms. And even today it still has the same powerful effect. I still get goosebumps. I still feel ready to fight for freedom. And if you are not dead inside, you feel it too. Next. I was too young to play Diablo 1, but boy, 4 years later, when Diablo 2 came out, I was more than ready to kill some goatman. But the Tristram team, of course, was also playing in Diablo 2 when, surprise, you entered Tristram.
Deckard Cain, go to the rogues' camp!
I was young, full of hopes and dreams, but something crept into my mind. The whispers, the whispers.
Dark Wanderer.
Are you not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing.
You know, this track is so dark and eerie and filled with sadness and pain. You feel the cold steel and the stench of the spells, and yet it's so melodic. It perfectly sets the atmosphere of Diablo's dark world, where I was sweating and shaking in my chair, heart pounding, while I was hacking my way through the dark catacombs of monastery to kill Andariel. I mean, it's the perfect game and music for a 9-year-old, right?
No!
No one can deny that. Next. And this time it's RTS, one of my favorite genres. The unforgettable Starcraft, still revered in South Korea, and this was specifically clipped from the Terran team. Kerrigan, the tough marines, slimy Zergs, mysterious Protoss. I can still see the Brood War intro scene where the Marines' last hope, the huge battlecruiser, is leaving, and then it cuts to the approaching horde of Zerglings and the Marines facing their inevitable death. I watched it all with a sacred terror, haunted by a cosmic horror. And it truly is a cosmic horror, but in the best sense of the word. All the soundtracks you heard evoke these powerful emotions and feelings. Some might even call them extreme, but that was precisely the power, the strength of the old games and their music. You know, they brilliantly portrayed the ancient archetypes that fascinated humans for ages, let alone preteen child.
Boring!
They just didn't leave you cold. They made you feel alive. And here we come to the essential issue with the games my nephews and their peers play. That all-encompassing infantilization. Where's the blood? Where's the fight for survival? Where's the fear? Where are the nightmares where you teleport to the city for the 50th time and back again just to kill Duriel, you know? The only archetype I hear about is scammer, and another common word, toxic. What do they even mean by that? Is the area you are in the game toxic? Is it infested, radioactive, or what? Yeah, no wonder the music in these games is not very good. Or maybe even worse, it's practically non-existent, pushed to the background, inaudible, unimportant, barely noticed by anyone. Because actually all the games my nephews play are multiplayer games.
Okay, so here we are in Roblox Speedrun. Okay, let's go. No.
And as it seems, there's no room for the music in multiplayer games. First, because players call each other, right? My nephew is on the phone all the time, talking to someone while playing.
Can you please quit with the gay shit and concentrate?
Or second, while playing, they listen to their own favorite music. Let's call it external music. They listen to regular songs that have nothing to do with the specific game. And maybe they actually do, because games like Fortnite are flooded with this mainstream music. The original lobby music, the name says it all, lurks in the shadows. It's boring, it's just background noise. No. What else do my nephews play? Of course, mind-blowing Roblox.
We're getting tired of the game. We're getting fucking bored. We're getting bored of this fucking stupid disgrace.
Where the only music that's worth anything is the so-called old Roblox music that was created back in 2005 or 2006. What else do we have? The brilliant, atmospheric Brawl Stars.
Not the beast!
Where this grand music plays. Or this one. Or this one. I won't bury myself deeper into it because there's nothing to dig into. Of course, you can accuse me of having a mind clouded by nostalgia, which is partly true. But if you are not cultural barbarians, you can clearly see that the quality of the music and games I used to play back in early 2000s speaks for itself. The depth of the experience, the artistic expression is almost incomparable to what my 10-year-old nephew and millions like him play today. And in 20 years he will of course also remember the games of his youth with a tear in his eyes. But will music be one of his main memories? The thing he remembers? Something tells me no. Because as I've already said, it's lobby music, it's elevator music, it's background noise that you only notice during the most boring moments. Is it the developer's fault? Or the composers? Or is it a shift in the perception of music itself? Or is it gamers' fault? You tell me. As usual, it's probably a combination of everything. But I think active listening to music, in general, is on the decline. The music is fading. It's not so important for the young kids as it used to be to us. But that's for another video. Stay strong and don't take everything too seriously. Alright? Cheerio.